Hey everybody, Jason Rivera here from ValueInvestingJourney.com, author of How to Value Invest and Chairman, CEO, and founder of Rivera Holdings LLC. I'm here today to talk about something I've talked about in the past before on my blog and in my book, but something I've never really detailed in full today, and it's very important to everything, all achieving goals and living your dreams and being the best you can possibly be. When I was my senior year of high school, when I was 18 years old, we had an end of year project in senior year English class. It was a research project, paper. I don't remember. I think we could pick whatever topic we wanted, reading and writing as a kid. I did it just to, when I had to, and even then I hated doing it. I always try to put in good work. And I work hard ever since I was a kid, but especially at the end of my senior year, I just wanted to get out of school at that point. I wanted to graduate, wanted to do whatever. But today's video is, I'm going to talk about what a teacher particularly told me, and then what I've accomplished since then. When I finished that report and that paper, I believe it was probably, if I remember right, 5 to 10 pages long is what it had to be. So nothing too huge, but for somebody who hates reading and writing, that's a lot. And I got the grade back, and I believe I was pretty much an A and B student. Didn't put in too much effort. Like I said, in other places, I was more interested in chasing girls, hanging out with friends, and playing sports. Played football and ran track when I was in high school. And especially, like I said, especially at that point, I was just done with school and wanted to be done with it and wanted to get out and whatever. So I probably didn't put in my best effort, but I got, for an A and B student, I think I got a D+ in that. And one of my teachers ended up telling me, and I was really close to her, so I actually remember laughing when she told this to me because I completely agreed. She said, quote, "I hope you never want to become a writer because this paper is terrible." And I remember laughing, and it's still funny because, like I said, I was close to her, and I played sports with her sons growing up, and we had a close relationship. She was one of the teachers I was closest to. So I was completely fine with her saying that, and again, it was the truth, which is the most important thing. It was the truth. She didn't sugarcoat anything, and that was perfect. But just my message today is, don't let anybody's opinion of you affect your long-term goals and aspirations and dreams, even if they're correct at the time, like she was. I'm a big believer that you can do anything you want to do or learn any skill you want to learn, if you're willing to put in the work and heart and time to learn a valuable skill. I mean, obviously, something like athletic related, for most sports, football and basketball in particular, require, for the most part, I mean there are outliers of course, but for the most part you have to be a certain size and have a certain amount of weight, certain body type to even make it, let alone become great, like Tom Brady or Michael Jordan or LeBron James. For example, I played football from the ages of 8 to 16, and if I would have known I would have stayed as short as I was as an adult, I would have played soccer instead. I don't have the body type to last in football. I ended up getting 7 or 8 minor concussions, broken ribs, what else? Several other injuries playing football, and a lot of it was due to my small size. And again, if I would have known I would have stayed so small, I would have gone into soccer or some other kind of sport, or put my energies elsewhere. But you don't know that as a kid, and I was stubborn, and I wanted to play football because I loved it, and all my friends were playing football. But my message here today is to tell you that other than athletic brilliance, which some of that is down to genetics, but again, that's down to hard work, a lot of it, I believe you can do anything you want to do, and don't let anybody's don't let anybody's negative opinion of you affect what you want to do. Even your own negative opinions about yourself and what you think you can or can't do. When I first started writing on Value Investing Journey, I was like, man, this is stupid. I'm a terrible writer. I don't want to do this. And I pretty much forced myself to do it. Mainly for selfish reasons, to get my thoughts down so I could improve faster and learn faster. And then eventually it built a little bit of a following. And then I got to the point where I kept getting requests for coaching and advice, and then that's when I got into How to Value Invest, writing How to Value Invest, and I put that off for several months. I've been thinking about it for about a year before I started writing on it, actually. And the same thing, I was like, man, I don't want to do this. I hate writing. At that point, I didn't hate it as much, but I was like, man, I suck at it. And I kept thinking back to my teacher, what she said, and I was like, this is terrible, and it's going to be terrible. And I went through it took me about 10 months from beginning to end to finish the book, writing, editing, publishing, all that stuff. And I went through about 20% of the time where I was working on the book, I went through this is terrible phase of the creative process. So I'm terrible. This is going to be terrible. Why am I writing this? Why is nobody's going to read this? All that. By the time I finished, I wouldn't say I was a good writer by any means, especially that's one of the main reasons I'm working on the second edition, is because now that I've actually trained at a company as a writer, going back and reading the mistakes I made drives me insane. That's one of the main reasons I'm writing a second edition of How to Value Invest, along with adding more stuff like owner's earnings, stuff like that, more detailed analysis. Those are the two main reasons I'm writing the second edition. But even though I was a terrible writer for the great majority of my life, now that I've actually got the training, I like to think that I'm at least an above average writer. I know how to spot technical problems, how to write, I wouldn't say well, but decent for a value investor and finance expert. My forte is still not writing, obviously, but I've become decent at it. And if I would have listened to that teacher and never written anything else after that, I wouldn't have written Value Investing Journey. This is how much my life would be different if I would have listened to that teacher and never written anything after that. And again, she was right. So, but just because somebody's right at 18 doesn't mean somebody's right about your skills and your knowledge and your abilities at the age of 30. This is how different my life could have been if I didn't write anything else. I wouldn't have written anything on Value Investing Journey, none of my research articles, none of my company recommendation articles. I likely would have either given up because of frustration due to lack of progress in my value investing career, so I might not even be value investing or doing any finance related stuff, or I wouldn't be at the level I'm at now because I wouldn't have written and gotten feedback and improved faster. I wouldn't have written How to Value Invest at all, which is what got me that job at that investment newsletter where I learned how to become a better writer. Wouldn't have gotten that job at all. Wouldn't have gotten most investors I talk to, potential investors of Rare Holdings, love that I've written a book, so most of them probably wouldn't even talk to me if I didn't have a book. My investment record, I know, wouldn't be as good because I wouldn't have written my ideas down. And again, when that goes back to the improvement of level I would be at, it wouldn't be where I'm at now. More importantly, I wouldn't be helping anybody other than myself, because everything kind of goes back to Value Investing Journey. That's where everything began for me on a professional, kind of a serious professional level. Again, that's where everything started. That's where my analysis started. That's where my skills improved, from everything to investments and research to writing, to really anything. If it wasn't for that, my life would be completely, if it wasn't for me writing and not listening to that teacher, my life would be completely different. I can't even imagine how different it would be, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. But I certainly wouldn't have any value investing journey content, any stock recommendations, any probably wouldn't be managing any portfolios, probably wouldn't have started Rivera Holdings. I definitely wouldn't have written how to value invest. So everything I've done for most of the last 10 years would be completely different. If I would have listened to that one teacher, again, who was correct. I laughed, I was close to her, and she was right. But I took the time to learn these skills, investments analysis, valuation, writing. I took the time to learn these skills and improve and find people who could help me, especially with the writing part. Value investing, for the most part, other than asking questions here and there, I taught everything myself, but I didn't start improving until at a fast I wrote everything down. If you want to achieve your goals, don't listen to what other people say of you. Don't, even if you have negative thoughts about yourself, like I did a long time ago, and I still do on occasion. You're a terrible writer. Why are you doing this? You don't know how to invest. Why are you doing this? Why are you putting yourself through the torture of learning all this? You hate cold calling people. Why do you do it? You hate emailing people. Why do you do it? If I would have done none of this, my life would be completely different. Again, I'm not to the levels I'm at. I'm where I want to be yet, but I'm on that trajectory. I have no doubts about that. I'm on that trajectory to get to where I want to be, and I wouldn't be doing anything I'm doing today if it wasn't for doing what I want, doing what I thought was best, and working and learning those skills. And one last thing I want to say, I want to emphasize again, just because somebody's right at age 18 or age 30 doesn't mean they're going to be right about your skills and knowledge level 10 or 12 or 15 years down the road. You can learn anything you want, you can do anything you want, and you can achieve your dreams and work toward your goals. If you are willing to put in the work, if you are willing to learn skills, valuable skills, if you have great dreams and great passions, you can do it. Don't listen to anybody else, what they say, even if they're right at the time. I hope this helps somebody out there. Please let me know in the comments below what you thought, and make sure to subscribe below.